In her video, Evangelical Atheism, Angie the Anti Theist describes herself as an evangelical atheist. She seems to use the expression in two senses. First, it seems, her explicit aim is to deconvert religious literalists from their religious belief systems. So, in a sense, she has a kind of evangelical-like mission. Second, the kind of believers that she attempts to convert, the ones she focuses on, are evangelicals, the religious fundamentalists and literalists. Now, I think that Angie is correct to concentrate on the religious literalists because there are more of them than religious non-literalists. Religious literalists tend to hold dogmatic beliefs that can be harmful to their lives. Many religious literalists attempt to impose their beliefs on others through a variety of means. Many religious literalists attempt to impose their beliefs on others through social policy and legislation. So they are indeed the proper object of concentration for the atheist. Angie tells us that one of the reasons she acts as an evangelical atheist is because becoming an atheist changed her life for the better. It is liberating to be delivered from a system of belief that suppresses your ability to arrive at your own conclusions, that imposes a morality upon you that is antiquated and inorganic, that limits your political options to the ramifications of its dogma and morality, and so on. To set yourself the task of liberating literalist believers, the ones who are harmed by their belief system, is an act of altruism in my view. Angie also tells us in her video that her belief that what most people believe is important hasn't left her since she has become an atheist. That also is an important insight. What people believe is important. What they believe can have direct ramifications on their psychological health, the quality and nature of their relationships, the kinds of social policy and legislation they might support. Helping someone who is harmed by and harms others because of their belief system to abandon or significantly modify their belief system can be a social good. Angie describes this in terms of trying to save people from hurting their children, from living their lives with unnecessary guilt and shame, and from holding back on her country's progress in educational curricula. Angie is absolutely correct in all these things. Angie suggests that it is an act of enlightened self-interest to assist people to be rationally oriented, to use critical thinking skills, to leave their God out of the ballot booth because people's beliefs can affect her. What Angie says in this regard is so obviously correct that it almost goes without saying. Angie says that efforts to engage believers about their beliefs can be worthwhile because it is possible to persuade them to abandon their beliefs. She is a case in point. She was deconverted from theism and is now an atheist. Angie is correct here generally as well. The notion that you can't persuade religious literalists that their belief system is erroneous is wrong as a matter of fact. The belief that you can't deconvert religious believers is also a spiteful assessment of the believer's character. Angie also questions the relative value of the comfort that religion brings to people, since very often that comfort is attendant with guilt and shame, self-hatred, worry about lost souls, the stress of trying to save people from eternal damnation, the loss of personal finances through tithing, and so on. Angie is once again correct. Very often the so-called existential benefits of religious belief are overly exaggerated, and the existential minuses of religious belief go relatively unpublicized. I admire Angie and the task that she has set for herself. I think she shows a lot of pluck and evidences good psychological health. I'm glad I subscribed to her, and I recommend that you consider subscribing to her as well. Thank you for your attention.